All right, so this is going to be, I'm going to take out this light here. I'm going to do this a little different because I have to get out the whole assembly. I have to get out the assembly that this light snaps into. This here, this snaps into this assembly here. Where's it? This assembly. Because, like an idiot, I snapped off this portion. This portion is the thing that you pull up. You pull up, so that locks onto here. I snapped this off because I was being an idiot. I mean, I don't have to technically replace it. I could bondo this back in place and all that, etc., etc., etc. But I figured I might as well just replace it. And of course, I snapped this, the clip there. So this will just pull right off. One of those bad days where this car was pissing me off. So anyway, to get the whole assembly off, you need to get that out, this one out, and then the one that's down in there. Oh, flashlight's not loading up. Is it? Where is it? Oh, yeah, right there. That one there. And the only way to get to that one is to take off this. You got to take off this plastic shroud because that nut is down in there. And when you do these, you just want to, this upper one, you don't take it out, you just loosen it. And I learned in this one, you got to do a trick too. Because when you try to put that one back in, if you take that screw out and try to put it back in, the underneath metal, it's a clip with the nut that's attached, that's part of the clip. And if you try to put it back in the way it is, the bottom nut keeps pushing out of the way. You'll never get it in. So you pretty much have to put it on before you shove this back in. I'll show you that. So anyway, let's take off this thing. And be careful not for these not to pop down into the engine area. I'm saying that because I already did that. These things make it easier. Storage bin. And this thing is a pain in the ass too because you have to pinch it out over here. It like pinches in over here. It's supposed to clamp in a couple spots here. Could I just get it to come out over here and get exposure to that nut? Where's that nut? That's right there. Right there. Yeah, technically I don't have to take this all the way out. Alright, so in theory, you just push this. Just push this, and because I have this clip broken off, you normally pull that clip up. And what I do is I push that clip and then just push the back. Push this back housing there. Let's see if we can get that. And you see the light just pushes right out. And then now you need to angle this light. Actually, technically, I didn't have to take this light out. I could have just undid the whole bracket and taken it out. All right. I see this is kind of awkward pulling this out. Because the bracket's off, so I'll get it out. It usually catches underneath and all that stuff. Kind of hard to do one-handed. And I have it out. One-handed. Look at that, bro. One-handed. I got the light out. All this stuff like gets in your way when you're doing it. Is that broke right there? Let's put the light over here. The light catches on these areas here. Let's see. There's also a leveler right there. And here's the area where you're trying to get your light. When you go to put the light back in, you're trying to get it to go slide into this area and slide into this area, and make sure this back clip is not down, because that's what I did and broke it like an idiot. You shouldn't have to put force onto this, but I was like, just one of those days, and you know, I know how to fix stuff, so I didn't really care if I broke anything. And then bam, snapped it. Also, when you're pushing it in, you're trying to get into this clip, and here's the tricky one, this one here. This is what throws everybody off when you're trying to, you got to try to angle this light in and get it into that clip, these clips, and these clips. Well, you'll see when I take this whole thing out, you don't even have to care about that. So let me unscrew this. I'm not going to screw it on camera. Come on, flashlight, don't die already. And I also filmed that. This screw comes out. You take this one out. This one down there, you just loosen it. You just loosen it. All right, well, this flashlight needs another battery. 18650, buddy. Okay, wait, discovering something new. Again, you don't need to remove this thing, because you can access that screw right through the little hole there. So I was wrong again. You never need to remove that plastic cover. See, you can get to that screw without an issue. And it looks like the shroud I got isn't the right thing. Oh, and there goes my thing. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and take that out. Per usual, I forgot that screw. That one has to come out also. That one you unscrew all the way out. That lower one, don't take the screw all the way out. Just take it out enough where you can see that much. You'll see it poking through that hole there where you can get by, and just slide it off of there. See, that's a slit, and you want to leave it like this. It just makes it easier putting it back on, sliding it over there, because like I said, when you take it off and try to get it to shove down to this thing just keeps expanding, and you can't get the threads to catch. It just makes it easier. And yes, the replacement that I got is apparently the wrong one. Whatever. All right, so I'll just leave it as it is. The light's not going anywhere. And that's what it looks like with that out. And if you want to take this whole assembly out with the light, then you're going to need to take off this plastic to get the light in there. And I just might put it back in the whole thing with the light in there, because I think it's actually easier to put it in with the light still in there. It's such a pain in the ass getting the right angle to get that light in and into those fancy clips that are on there. All right, so I'm not going to film me putting it in because I need two hands. All right, the other thing to note is when you take this, if you're going to take this assembly out, mark it. Mark where this was, and mark where that one was. And if you can, mark, oh, you can't see down there. I had marked it from up above. Mark where that one is, and don't change these levels. See how that's how it's a level? Don't change that level. You can't see the back ones. You can't see the back ones anymore. Don't change the levels of those screws, because then you're going to throw your light off on how it aims out. So make sure you mark where those were. And this time I did forget, but I still have the scratches from the last time, if you see them. See the scratch? I don't know if you can see it. Right there, see that scratch? I have some scratches on there. And I have one down there somewhere. Alright, so when you're getting this light in here, you see in there that track? I don't know if I get it there. Right in there, that track. You want to get it into that track. Come on, light. Focus, buddy. You want to get into that track. That's the top part of the light. And then down here, you got to make sure you're getting into that lip. See that lip there? Right there. So right now I'm not lined up. I'm going to have to push the light inward a little. Inward like that. I think it just popped in. Let's see. Yeah. Let's see. Can we see it? Yeah, you see it popped in there? I just gave it a little push to towards the inside of the car. And that popped in there. Is that it? No, it's the back of there. I'm gonna do a lot of zooming in. That down there. I don't know. In there somewhere. And then now that that's in there, you have to get this upper track to get in. This upper track here. I'm all zoomed in now. This upper track in there, you got to get that to go in. You see that on this angle? Yeah, this track. You have to get it to go into that track now. So as it's coming in, you got to lift up on the light assembly to get it to go into that track. See how it's about to chew that track, but it's a little off? So now you just got to lift up a little and get that to line up, and then the light will push right in and then clip into there. If there's any kind of pressure, you have it in there crooked, and you'll end up snapping this thing that I snapped off. Make sure you have this thing pulled up. I was gonna fix it, but I don't feel like doing it right now. Well, all right, the truth is I forgot where I put the piece. I know I threw it in the car, I just don't know where it is. All right, I'm gonna push this back in now. All right, so I need to adjust my assembly a little. Sorry, this got all dark. I need to adjust the assembly a little because this is pinched like that, and that's always been like that. Where the other side, you got a little gap, I guess. But see here, that's not as big gap there. Where this has a huge gap, so I have to adjust the assembly, and I could just reach right in there and loosen that bolt with a 10 millimeter. Those things are 10 millimeters. So I'm going to reach in, loosen that a little so I can adjust this light. Alright, so the light's back in there, and those of you interested, that was a Torx 30. You probably want one of these because it's hard to get into that screw. Oh, there you go. Yeah, it's hard to get to that screw. You got to go through that little hole. And that wrench works good for that. Old Craftsman. So I think I got this even like the other one. Who knows if it's pointing? And you know, even with this thing broke, the light doesn't move. You know, you would be worried about shaking and stuff. The light's not going to come out or something because it's, you know, it's clipped there. So I don't know. I don't really care. So it's pretty even now. It's kind of pinched like the other one. So, yeah, like the other one is. Kind of. Alright, so I know I didn't show. Well, I showed you the clips on how to get this light in. What's hard about getting this light in? Getting it into those tracks. It looks like the case I got that's wrong. That's for like a newer Q7, I guess. And it doesn't have all those. It's only got the top ones. So the light's probably really easy to get in. Or this one, it's a pain. It also could be this assembly that I have is for the higher end lights. Oh man, I should have looked for a part number off it. That could be the other issue, because these lights are the higher end ones. Although I don't know, because I think all the high end stuff is internal to the light. I don't know. I don't care. If I find that piece, I might epoxy it. I might not. I might just put something. That bars down here, so this thing can't go forward if it ever wanted to go forward. Might just do something like that. Who knows? Or I just might totally forget that there was an issue, that I broke that off, because it's not really a big deal. I don't care. And you saw my other videos with this car making that loud noise. I had a shop look at it because I can't get in there. We got this heat shield off. You see that shiny gasket, head gasket. Exhaust gasket. See it's shining in there. It's the manifold gasket. Now, we had them put a new gasket on there. The previous shop claimed they had done some work, but all they really did was break the exhaust bolts, the manifold bolts, and they couldn't get them in tight. I don't know what they did. They rigged it so it lasted a while, and then they broke loose, so in the back it was leaking, and that's exactly what I was saying, that it wasn't a big deal, because I knew it wasn't something breaking in the car. It was just an exhaust leak in the back at the manifold level, and when that secondary pump turns on when the car is on, I don't think you can hear me when this damn car is on, huh? When the secondary pump turns on, when you first turn the car on after it's cold, that pump is extremely loud. That's how it's supposed to be. But the exhaust manifold is supposed to be a sealed system, so you're not going to hear it. But when it's not a sealed system, you hear it. So that's what I was hearing for that 23 seconds. And then the secondary pump would turn off. Although I keep saying secondary pump, and all the mechanic stuff I look through, I can't find a secondary pump on this car. But that's basically what it is. An exhaust, something is turning on, which was completely normal, and loud as hell, which was completely normal. You're just not supposed to be able to hear it, that's the not normal part. But I knew that was not a big deal. It was just an exhaust thing. They also found that, you see there, let's see, down there, you have a flex pipe. Flex pipe, you can see. Flex pipe, and that flex pipe in there, I don't know how to say this. Flex piping down in between, see it's kind of a flex, I don't know how to explain it. The exhaust pipe. Where's my other flashlight? I can zoom right to it. Here's that. I can put the light right on it. That right there. That's a part of the, this is your catalytic converter, and to make it easier to install, they make it a flex pipe there. There was also kind of a hole in that, which was another exhaust issue. So they replaced that for me. You can see the other one. You can see it. Yeah, right there. That's the flex pipe. I have them do that for me. I don't feel like doing that. Of course, you got to drill out the bolts. You got to drill the bolts out of the head because they were all rusted out and broke. And I wasn't going to do that. Hope you can hear me over the engine. That, what I could do from back here. Flex pipe. Where is it? Yeah, flex pipe. I don't know what is it again. That flex pipe down the middle, that was leaking also. But now we have, you see the shiny gaskets, new manifold gaskets. So that cleaned up that. I forgot, they said there might be an oil leak in the back. I don't know what they did about that. I didn't really care about that. Alright, so anyway, yep, there's the lights back on and my fancy almost even my LED lower light replacements and my fancy SQ7 grill, buddy. No plate, took it off, don't need it, who cares? You know, then I painted the internal in there so it doesn't shine silver. Painted internal stuff so you don't see it. Painted internals black. There you go, buddy. Alright, to annoy people, I just added this. I would tell you, buddy. I'm going to hold that. Just in case I get like an accident, I don't want my headlight to go flying out. And to further annoy people, I will not cut these ends off. I will not do it. Look at it. Oh, it's like having a pinky in the air. It's like the pinky up in the air when you're holding your cup. Look at that. Pinkies, two pinkies. Alright, so I'm just going to leave that like that.